Tammy Lynn Leppert was an American farmer, child and teen model, actress and beauty queen, born on the 5th of February, 1965. She was just 18 years old when she disappeared under very mysterious circumstances from Cocoa Beach, Florida, on July the 6th, 1983. Tammy had worked throughout her late childhood and teen years primarily as a model. At times, she could often be seen gracing the front page of CoverGirl magazine. She began participating in beauty contests at just 4 years old. She competed in nearly 300 pageants and won the vast majority, taking home around 280 crowns. Tammy was beautiful, young and successful, without a doubt on her way to stardom before her behaviour took a strange turn in the weeks leading up to her disappearance. Tammy had played minor roles in numerous movies. In one of these roles, she played a participant in a boxing match in the movie Spring Break, which was filmed in 1983. Reportedly, her legs, hips and torso were used in the main poster for the movie. After the shooting of the film Spring Break was finished, Tammy went unaccompanied to a weekend party. Those closest to Tammy say that she came home from this party a different person. A friend of the family, Wing Flanagan, was just 11 years old when he began to stay at the Leppert household. He and Tammy were described as being like brother and sister. Wing described how Tammy's behaviour began to take over paranoid overtones. Tammy would no longer answer the phone and told her family not to let anyone know that she was at home. She admitted to her mother that she had seen something awful that she wasn't supposed to have seen, but wouldn't elaborate as to what this was. She kept repeating that they were trying to kill her. Tammy began isolating herself from the outside world, and Wing and her mother Linda had trouble distinguishing which of Tammy's fears were real and which were paranoid delusions. Wing recalled of an incident when Tammy called him over to the window and asked him to look outside and tell her what he saw. Wing replied that the neighbour had a new van, to which Tammy looked at him worried and replied, "Exactly." He didn't know what she was getting at, however. Tammy went on to say that the van had mirrored windows, meaning that they could see her, but she couldn't see them. After 2 weeks in virtual seclusion, Tammy was offered a small role in the 1983 film Scarface, as the girl who played a distraction to the lookout car during the bloody chainsaw shower scene. However, after seeing the pretend murder scene, Tammy had suffered a breakdown and could not be consoled by any of the crew members. She was taken to a trailer where Walter Leibowitz, the family friend who she had been staying with whilst filming for the movie in Miami, met her and described her as being in a tremendous state of fear, shouting about how they were going to shoot her and blow her head off. She also mumbled something about money laundering and that she didn't know where to hide. Tammy could not continue filming and was returned home. Her mother Linda grew increasingly concerned about her daughter's behaviour. Once home, Tammy's paranoia worsened and she began to think that someone was trying to poison her food. On July the 1st, 1983, Tammy Lynn finally snapped. She first joined Wing downstairs in the living room, but soon enough became increasingly paranoid, asking him why he was looking at her even though he claimed that he wasn't. She ran outside to where the front door shut behind her. She immediately turned round and tried to re-enter her home, but the door was locked. Tammy began to frantically scream and bang on the door to be let back in, and without a moment's notice, grabbed a baseball bat from the front garden and began smashing her way inside through the front window. Wing ran outside to confront Tammy, to which he says that she turned on him with a crazed look in her eyes. She began accusing him of locking her outside. He went on to say in a later interview that she was looking right through him and doesn't believe that she even knew who he was in that moment. Tammy's mother intervened and tried to snap her daughter out of her frantic state. That same day, Linda checked Tammy into the Brevard County Mental Health Center for a complete physical and psychological examination. Tammy was released after just 72 hours of observation, as there seemed to be no signs of drug or alcohol use according to the doctor's statements. Once home, A boy called Rick Adams, who was Tammy's best friend, met up with her after the hospital visit. He recalled that on that day, Tammy told him that she loved him, almost as a last goodbye, and claimed that she might be going away for a while. Just one day after this, Linda said that Tammy seemed relatively normal throughout the day. She was really trying to impress her mother, appearing that she was in control. As Linda sat in the living room, Tammy told her that she was going out for a while, but she'd be back shortly. Linda claimed that she suddenly felt very frightened. She rushed to the door to open it and seen Tammy getting into a friend's car. She had a strange feeling that this would be the last time she would ever see her daughter. Sadly, this would be true. The friend that Tammy left with said that he and Tammy had drove to Cocoa Beach, but they soon become involved in a verbal argument, and she had requested that he let her out of the car, so he complied. This would be the last confirmed sighting of Tammy Lynn Leppert. According to Tammy's friend, he dropped her off at around 3 p.m. on July the 6th, 1983, 5 miles from her house. She was barefoot and had no money. While some speculated that Tammy had ran away and disappeared off of her own accord, her mother pointed out that Tammy was getting ready to go to LA for 3 months and was excited to do so. If she was having problems at home, as some believed, she would soon be leaving shortly anyway. A popular belief is that this friend did indeed drop Tammy off at Cocoa Beach, and being that she had no real way of getting back home without any money, she hitchhiked and got into the wrong man's vehicle. She would have been a walking target for any predator within the vicinity. Ironically, she may have been killed in the process of trying to escape whatever or whomever she was in fear of. Some presumed that Tammy may have been a murder victim of serial killer Christopher Wilder, who killed 8 or 9 young women before dying in a shootout with police in 1984. Leppert's family even sued Wilder before he was killed, but eventually halted the process as some had doubts as to whether he was involved in Tammy's disappearance. Tammy's agent also stated that she did not believe that Wilder had killed Tammy. Of course, Tammy may also have suffered from an undiagnosed mental illness, such as schizophrenia. This may have also been triggered by drug use at the party that she attended. She did show many signs of the illness, such as severe paranoia, delusions, and isolation. Other theories suggest that maybe Tammy had been sexually assaulted at the party, and the trauma had altered her. This could also explain why people believed that she may have been 3 months pregnant at the time of her disappearance. The party in which she had attended would have been filled with seedy, powerful men, who are more than likely still around in Hollywood today. Perhaps she seen one of them commit a murder or another terrible crime, and was seen as a threat due to her being a witness. Several age progressions have been created to show what Tammy may have looked like if she was alive today. At the time of her disappearance, Tammy was 5 foot 5 inches tall, weighed between 105 and 155 pounds, had curly blonde hair and hazel eyes. Today, Tammy would be 58 years old. Sadly, Linda Curtis passed away on the 4th of October 1995 at the age of 54, never having known what happened to her daughter.